Hello everybody, welcome to the I Am IT Geek YouTube channel. My name is Shabazz and as ever I am the IT Geek. Welcome back to another episode of the AZ140 exam study guide series I'm doing. We're a new topic, only a short topic, only one episode on this topic. And we're coming up to the last 2 to 3 topics now, so we're nearly at the end of this series. It's been a big one. The exam topics normally are, 'cause I try to cover as much as I can, but with shorter topics. So you find that I've got more episodes, but smaller videos. Sorry. So hopefully these are really helping you. Please do give me feedback. I want to know if this is helping, if it's helped you pass your exam. Please do let me know, because that's the whole point of this. If it's not helping people and people think I've got stuff missing, do let me know. Make sure you subscribed as well. Click on that subscribe button. So many people watching my videos aren't subscribed. I don't understand why. And I do appreciate people's support, and I'm trying to grow my channel. So again, please do subscribe. So without further ado, let's get started with this episode. I think I said at the end of episode 12, sorry, the end of the last episode, which was topic 12, part 3, that there won't be a demo in this lab. There is going to be a demo in this episode. So those are my socials. So again, don't worry about taking a note of them. They're all in the description. Do give me a follow. Do connect with me. I'm always happy to connect with people and help where I can. So a bit of a reintroduction to my name is Shabazz, as I mentioned, and I am the I Am IT Geek. I'm an infrastructure master within Microsoft Cloud Technologies, including Azure IaaS, Infrastructure as a Service, AVD, and some of the security areas of Microsoft, including Microsoft Entra, Defender for Cloud, and also Purview, which is the information protection. I'm a Microsoft MVP in 2 categories of Azure and Enterprise Mobility. I'm also a Nerdio MVP for all, and Nerdio gave me that award 3 years ago for all the sort of, I've got it renewed every year, thankfully, for all the sort of Nerdio content that I do as well. We've done some little demos in this series throughout, and we're going to be doing another one in this episode, and I'll go through that shortly. And I'm also a published author. I've done a book on the AZ140, so please do, again, link in the description. Make sure you invest in that. I recommend it. So this is the Configuring Operating Microsoft Azure Virtual Desktop series. So we're going to talk about planning for disaster recovery. So this is topic 13. So I've only got 3 areas to cover. So disaster recovery for AVD, VM replication, and FSLogix configuration. We're going to do a bit of a Nerdio demo around the endpoint management, which is similar to the Intune, well, covering Intune really, but through Nerdio. Let's talk about disaster recovery for AVD. So to strengthen your organization's AVD availability and keep data safe, you should implement business continuity and sort of disaster recovery, which is the BCDR. And you make sure you have a strategy. A good BCDR strategy keeps your apps and your workloads up and running during planned and unplanned service or Azure outages. As you can see in this graphic, it shows the recovery point objective, or the RPO, as a loss of data, and the recovery time objective, RTO, as the time to recover from a disaster. The AVD service offers BCDR to preserve customer metadata during outages. So when an outage occurs in an Azure region, the service infrastructure components will fail over to a secondary location and continue to function as expected. To make sure your users can still connect during an Azure outage, you may need to replicate personal VMs to a different Azure region, so like a secondary location. And during outages, the primary region fails and falls over to the replicated VMs in the secondary location. Users can continue to access your applications from the secondary location without interruption. In addition to VM replication, you'll need to ensure user identities are accessible at the secondary location. And accessible identities can be achieved by using profile containers. So you may also use multiple pooled host pools with sort of automated provisioning across regions as an alternate sort of to VM replication. So we are going to talk about FSLogix in a couple of slides' time. Let's move on to VM replication specifically. So we mentioned that a couple of times in the last slide. So you'll need to replicate your VMs to that secondary location for AVD. And you've got multiple options. So you can configure all your VMs for both pooled and personal host pools with ASR, or Azure Site Recovery. With this method, you'll only need to set up one host pool, and it's sort of related app groups and workspaces. You can then create a new host pool and a failover region while keeping all resources in your failover location turned off. You can set up a new app group and workspaces in the failover region, then use Azure Site Recovery plan to turn on the host pool. You can create a host pool that's populated with VMs built in both primary and your failover regions while keeping the VMs in your failover region turned off. You only need to set up one host pool and its related app groups and workspaces. You can use Azure Site Recovery Plan to power on host pools with this method as well. Using Azure Site Recovery to manage replicating VMs in other Azure locations there's a URL, there's kind of a Microsoft document for that, and I'll put the link in the URL in the description. Setting up Azure Site Recovery by replicating sort of your Azure VMs to a different region directly through the Azure portal, and it's automatically updated with the new Azure features as they're released as well. Let's talk about FSLogix configuration now. So FSLogix agent can support multiple profile locations, as we can see in the image that all you're doing there in your VHT locations string is adding multiple file paths. So again, it's a good way of failing over. Your VMs will always have the file paths there, and they'll always be able to load there as long as they've got the right permissions. So let's go into a demo now. We're going to look into all the endpoint management, which is basically Intune management within the Nerdio portal, so how you do that. So let's jump into the demo portal. Welcome back. Here we are back in the Nerdio Manager for Enterprise portal. So this is in my demo tenant. This is my community version. And we're on endpoints here. So this is basically the Intune management, as you can see here within Nerdio. So again, similar to how I was in the Azure portal or the Intune portal, I've actually got my one VM, which it's currently turned off, but this is the VM that has the which is enrolled. And it gives me some device information there. So it's Entra ID joined. It's actually hybrid joined. And it's got sort of the multi-session. It tells you how much free space it's got. From a compliance state, it tells me it's not got compliance policies. It's got configuration policies. It's got Windows Update. It's not got any application policies. And here we'll click on device details, and it gives us a lot of information. Again, very similar to the Intune portal. See the Entra ID device, the Intune device ID, if it's enabled, the OS, the version, the join types, as Entra ID joined. You can set an owner there, who the UPN is, and what sort of ownership it has. Again, we can change that as well. Any group membership. Go down to compliance. It's got the default device compliance, but it says the applications. It's got R7-zip and Google Chrome. From policies perspective, it tells us we can look at the scope, look at the device scope or a user scope. It tells us what the policies are. So it's got policy A assigned to its conditional access. It's got Microsoft Managed Multi-Factor Authentication policy. That says report only mode. So that there it says it's disabled, the policy A. It's got MFA policy, which is enabled. It's got default device control compliance policy, which is an error on it. And it's got an AZ140 MFA, which is disabled, I think, as well. Yeah. So again, it tells you if it's a conditional access or compliance. From update perspective, again, we can look at only one scope. We can look at a different view if we want. It tells us what Windows Update for business updates we've got. It tells us what Windows features, again, what updates we've got, and what Windows quality updates we've got. I really need to update my my session notes. We'll look at applications. Again, it tells us that we've got, again, we can look at device scope only. Then it tells us we've got 7-zip, Google Chrome, and Firefox that are being deployed through Intune. Any scripts that are being deployed on it, again, nothing for me. Look at the user experience. Here's endpoint analytics, similar to how it was in Intune. So again, this is really good because it's all the same features of Intune, but in one portal. This is what I like about Nerdio. Look at the same endpoint analytics, the same style performance, same application reliability, and working from anywhere options that we had. The hardware, again, this is all very, very similar to the what we saw in the Intune portal. So where our BitLocker keys are. It tells us about antivirus, and we can either do a quick scan or a full scan, or we can do Windows Defender Security Intelligence. It tells us about the location, and again we can do a locate, and it can put those in. And it looks as device action status, and there's none at the moment. But we can then close this, and if we look at the actual actions that we can do, we can force a sync. We can actually restart. This isn't even started at the moment. We can do a quick scan, do a full scan, do a location as we did before. Rename the device if we want. We can retire it. We can't change the primary user. We can't do a wipe because this isn't available in multi-session. We can delete it. We can't do a fresh start. We cannot do autopilot reset because it's not supported, or it's not a supported enrollment type. But we can do update Windows Defender, but can't do a BitLocker key rotation. So again, just want to take a look at the Intune sort of integration with Nerdio and just compare it against the. So again, it tells us we've just done that task where we did the locate device request, and it tells us it's complete. So let's actually just go to see if that's actually doing anything. Pending, because the machine's not turned on probably. So Yeah, just wanted to show some features within Nerdio, and again how similar they are to Microsoft Cloud. But again, Intune has its own portal, whereas in Nerdio it's all under one roof, all under one pane of glass. It's really useful. And again, you don't really need to know Intune; you just need to know Nerdio if you want to manage it. So hopefully, again, that was a short topic, a short episode as well. Again, I appreciate everyone's support. I hope you can continue to support me by making sure you're subscribed, leaving me comments, leaving me likes. I do appreciate everyone's feedback. We've got two more topics, topic 14 and 15. So I reckon 5 episodes max. We'll be there, we'll be at the end. So thank you everyone for watching. Until next time, goodbye.